Hey, welcome back everybody. This is going to be Game 4 of Sparkyz versus eSTRO, and this is going to be SeCret, also known as Haksu on the right there, making a weird face, against hyvaa for eSTRO. And hyvaa, as I was saying early in this match, wow, yeah, SeCret, I don't know, hamming it up for the cam. Maybe they're just having a nice chat conversation, but hyvaa's keeping it stone-faced. Anyways, I don't know what's going on there. He's just looking all sorts of awkward. He's distracting me. Anyways, cut away, get to the game. Where was I going with this? SeCret, Haksu, making the funny faces. He is 1-1 this season. His one win being likely the upset of the entire year when he took out Bisu. But this will be his first non-Protoss versus Protoss. SeCret, aka Haksu, is going to be the red Protoss up in the northeast position, and hyvaa for eSTRO is going to be the green... I am looking at the wrong thing. Yes, the green Zerg in the southwest position. This is on match point, and every time I see a game on match point, every time I'm commentating on it, I always sort of mention that it's considered a Protoss match, and there's just, especially early on, there were just tons of Protoss versus Protoss games played on this map, but actually looking at the statistics, it is surprisingly even, and Protoss versus Zerg, I think Protoss are in the lead in that 13-11. This is probably including this game as well, but I don't know how this game goes, so not sure where that goes. But anyways, still pretty close to even. So maybe SeCret doesn't have quite as much of an advantage as I would like him to have right now. I think he is setting up for a Forge first fast expand. Kind of an interesting spot for that Forge, more protecting the choke point from the natural into the main expansion, rather than sending in, rather than protecting the choke point into his natural expansion. Possibly just because there's a couple of different routes into that natural. Time for them to show the game so I can keep talking. Anyways, hyvaa is 4-9 this season so far. You know, and he's the only Zerg for eSTRO, and that's kind of why I'm confused as to why eSTRO has been doing so well, you know, being in 5th place at this point in the season. And but really, when I look at it, it's because, you know, Sparkyz has been worse, generally because they don't have any Protosses they can play. In terms of Protosses, they are 2-9 over all of the Protosses that have been fielded by Sparkyz this season. If some of those Protosses could get some wins, then Sparkyz might be in a much different position right now in all of their games. But it looks like that was a... I thought he had put down an expansion, but I guess not. SeCret being pretty aggressive right here, putting his gateway before his Forge even. Also has his expansion in the works, and not even putting down any Forge right now on this map, so not sure what he's going with there. It looks like he just now placed the Forge. SeCret is going to be... excuse me. hyvaa is going to be able to get that scout out, and I guess he had not gotten his expansion. SeCret doing a pretty good job of harassing for a second, but then backs off, so hyvaa will be able to put down his expansion, and his spawning pool is ready, and that's got to be 4 Zerglings getting built right now, and they're probably going to be able to do a little bit of damage. Well, they have the possibility of doing a little bit of damage, because that Forge is just probably coming up, and so those cannons are going to be kind of late. SeCret will likely need to be pulling probes off the line. Oh, he did go for an expansion. Sorry, hyvaa, that is, did go for an expansion up in the sort of 3 o'clock position, I guess. So he is going for a double expand quickly, and SeCret, with just now putting down a cannon, it is sort of surrounded by all of his buildings, so his buildings are placed pretty well. But, you know, 4 Zerglings going to be coming in. They might have a chance to sneak around and get by. The Stargate is going up, and it looks like hyvaa decides not to even try it. So SeCret coming out with a pretty big win there. by default, just because he was able to only build one cannon extremely late, so his expansion was up very early, and his gateway was up very early, so he's going to be ready to move on into this build. I'm not sure exactly what he's going for. Obviously a Forge first fast expand with at least one Stargate going down, but you know, I don't know if it's going to be DTs or Reavers after that, or just straight into High Templar, who knows. But he's going to have to come up with something, and likely need to put on a little bit of aggression towards Hiva in the very near future, just because Hiva has been able to put down 2 expansions completely unharassed. So, you know, Hiva, now it looks like, yeah, he has gotten all 3 of those bases mining now, so he has a very nice economy set up. His Spire is going to be finished in just a minute. SeCret trying to get a scout in, but that's not going to happen. An Overlord scout finally getting killed by the first Corsair. You know, a second Corsair is being built, so SeCret will have a little bit of a air advantage for just a second, but that Spire is almost done. Scourge will be coming out pretty quickly to probably deal with these first couple of Corsairs that have been built, and you know, SeCret really needs to, I don't know, probably tech up in kind of a hurry. He's going to have a couple of Corsairs, but he doesn't really have much to defend against Mutalisk harassment other than a couple of cannons placed around. He's got that one cannon in his natural expansion. That's all there is for right now. He might be able to get a second Overlord kill with that first Corsair, which would be pretty nice for him. Generally, you consider one Overlord kill is expected, you know, that's just the way the builds work. 2 Overlord kills is pretty good. It's, you know, you're getting a little bit of advantage out of that Corsair. The first Scourger out, and he's looking to try to get another Overlord killed, but he dies. The first Corsair getting picked off, the second Corsair getting picked off too. Very terrible, sloppy play there. Oh, what are you doing, SeCret? you gotta keep your eye on those Corsairs at all times, because the Scourge can just come in and do exactly that. Sometimes Scourge gets stupid and don't do the right thing, but you know, Hiva just I mean, that wasn't even like a particularly great play for Hiva, you know, it's just like, that's standard. You build a couple of Scourge and send them at the Corsair, and hopefully they'll hit. But usually they won't, because the Protoss player should be on top of the Corsairs and be able to get them back towards their cannons or Dragoons or whatever they have to attack air, and defend those Corsairs. Hydralisk Den and an Evolution Chamber coming out for Hiva, and DTs actually, so this is sort of a Bisu build, except Corsairs have been lost. A lot of Corsairs have been lost, and by a lot I mean 2, but you've really got to get a lot more Overlord kills than that if those DTs are going to be successful. There are DTs everywhere, all over the natural expansion and the second expansion. It looks like one DT was able to sneak through, and he's going to make it all the way down to the main base. Hiva's going to have to run all of his drones, although it doesn't look like he is doing that at the moment. 1 kill, alright, 2 kills from that DT, so a couple of DT kills, or excuse me, drone kills from the DT, so a pretty nice play for for SeCret to sneak that all the way in, and I really didn't think that DT was going to make it, because there are Overlords and Hydralisks in the area. He actually snipes down the egg, which means that that Overlord that was probably being built will not be there to see the DT. Looks like SeCret is trying to follow that up with a second DT. He thought about maybe sniping that spawning pool, but couldn't decide, then maybe the egg, and now he's going to have to run away because Overlord has slowly creeped down all the way there. So that DT harassment will be over. It did get 3 drone kills, and he's sneaking in another one. He might be able to get a couple of drone kills right here. 1, 2, 3 maybe? No, he's trying to... I think he shouldn't have protected that DT. It's going to go down no matter what. He's trapped behind the mineral line, but well, maybe not. Maybe he's going to be able to sneak it down all the way and meet up with that other DT, but regardless, I don't know if he's going to be able to do much damage. He does get 1 more kill, and the first DT is going to be able to sneak in and get a little bit more damage done too, most likely. So 4 kills from the original DT, I think 3 kills so far. by this one, by the second DT. So pretty nice harassment there. I really didn't expect that to work, and that, you know, critically that's also given Haksu, aka SeCret. I might switch back and forth between those names over and over again, so sorry about that. But it critically it's given him